Okay, good evening, students. All right, good evening to every one of you, wherever you're watching. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Okay, the last video I sent online on my channel was on this titration, and there were actually asked to calculate some parameters, so you could check pace setter tutorial channel. You see there I've uploaded 2 videos today on titration. So we're having another one, and the reason why I'm doing this is because tomorrow is actually practical examination for those who are writing Waec examination. Okay, now we're having another question now, and this is a little bit different from the 2 I've solved previously. This says that A is a 0.2 mole per dm cube of HCl. That's the acid now. The B is a solution containing 14.3 grams of sodium trioxocarbonate for hydrates, because we do not know what the value of X is. If we know the value of X, then we can call it whether it's decahydrate or whether octahydrate, nonahydrate, or whatever the name will be, until we're able to ascertain what the value of X will be. And that's contained in 500 cm cube of solution. So we have instructed here to put A into the burette. Now what that means is that the acid is the A, you put it in the burette, and then you titrate it against either 20 cm cube or 25 cm cube portion of the base using methyl orange. Okay, so it means that this contains pipette, and why this contain the burette. So you have a rator stand, as you'll be doing it tomorrow. You have a rator stand, and in the rator stand you have your burette. In your burette you put your volume of acid, okay, and then you have another one we call pipette, and then you suck your base, and the volume is 25 cm cube. Please do not forget that. Okay, now we are simply told to find the volume of the average volume of A used, that is the volume of the acid used. Now I've always said it in the last video, the video before the last, I think it was the last video, I was saying something where I did not use 0 or 2, okay, but I told you in that video, to be precise, that if you think you're not careful enough, you're not the careful type, it's better everything is on 0. That is, your initial reading should be on 0. And if you remember, I told you that the first is usually the rough, or you call it the rough, or you could call it the first reading, or the first titer. Okay, so if you see the rough, the first one is usually totally different from the pattern. So you have 24, and then you have the initial value, and then you fill it up again to 0 level, and then you did it, you got this. You fill it up again to 0 level, and then you got this. You fill the burette level to 0 level again, and you got it. And do not forget the precaution during titration. Number 1, don't forget that the volume of the pipette, or your pipette, you must rinse it with the solution of the base, and your burette, you must rinse it with what? The solution of the acid. And you must also make sure that air bubble, you avoid all of that, and the burette must not leak. There must not be leakage, and then you also avoid error due to parallax. Now let's find the volume of the average. What's it now? The A part. The A part says that we should find the average volume of acid used. How do we go about that? That's straightforward, that's simple. So you are just to take 1, 2, 3, and you divide by what? By 3. You divide by what now, students? You divide by 3. And so we have the, I'm trying to look, okay, average volume. Average volume of acid used equals, please someone, 24. Get me your calculator. Bring your calculator out, student. Please do that quickly. Who has done that, please? What's the answer?
24.733.
24 point what?
733.
Okay, 73. So this is the volume of the acid. Okay, so we can say that that is our VA. That's actually what you call the VA. Okay, so we come to the second part of the question now. We're done, and then we are given our equation of reaction. The first question I saw, we weren't given equation at all. So we're asked to write the equation and to balance it. So I cannot tell exactly how it will look like tomorrow. Number two, the second one I saw, we're given the equation, there was no need to balance, it was already balanced. This one now, the value of x shows or tells us that this equation is not balanced, even though we are given the equation. So it is our duty to balance it, having gotten the moment we get the value of x. Okay, so let's go to the second part now. So what are we looking for here? Concentration of what? B in mole per dm cube. Concentration of B in mole per dm cube. And so we can use our favorite formula, favorite titration formula. So very quickly, we have something like this. And from the equation of reaction, that we have sodium triisocarbonate for hydrates, because we are not told the value of x, HCl, the volume ratio here is 1 to ratio of 2. 1 to ratio of 2. And so, if it is 1 ratio 2, then we can come here and make concentration of B the subject of formula. And that will give us Ca, Va, and Nb over Na and Vb. So in this case now, we are given the value of this concentration of A, and that's 0.200. You can check it in the question that have been wiped. And then the volume of the acid, we just got that here, 2473, and that of the mole ratio of the base is 1. Coming to the mole ratio of the acid, we have 2 there, and the volume of the base obviously is 25. It's constant. Okay, so please quickly check for me. No, that can be the answer. Check, please. Zero point what? Where did I even? So from here, please, if you are with your calculator, then we have 0.20 multiplied by 24.37 divided by 50. So here I'm having 0.0989 mole per dm cube. This is what I'm having. So the second part of the question now says that we should find the concentration of B, that's the base, in gram per dm cube. So what do we do here? Mass concentration in gram per dm cube. The formula is mass over volume. Please, somebody should go to the question now. Tell me the question. What was the mass that was given? Please read it out. Read it out quickly. What was the mass that was given? Read the question. You were given the value of mass in the question. Hold on. 14 point what? So the mass we are given is 14 point what? 3 gram. Thank you. Gram. And then the volume. Check. Something like 500 cm3 was given. Okay, 500 cm3. The 500 cm3, we don't use it. We solve in dm